Port Jervis, and welcome to the Port Connects Alumni Podcast. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the podcast, and obviously we are live here in studio. I have no favorites. I can't have any favorite students. There's any students of mine. No favorites, but I got one of my favorites here, Matt Kowal, class of 2016. Matt, welcome back.
Thank you for having me,
and thanks for coming on the podcast here. It's hard to get this guy. He's working. He's busy. He's married. But we asked Matt to come on for several reasons. One, including Veterans Day was on Monday, and Matt honorably served in the Air Force Academy. So, Matt, let's start there. Appreciate your service. Looking on Monday, Veterans Day. You're a young vet, right? But what does Veterans Day mean to you for someone who served in the military?
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. Being so young and considered a veteran, but it's an honor. I was proud to serve my country and do the best I can in the Air Force. So many great people from Port Jervis have served.
So many.
Yeah, there's you see the poles downtown. Everyone's pictures on them, back from World War I all the way up to now.
Yeah,
a lot of guys.
So you kind of knew that early on. We were chatting off air, Matt. Was serving in the military something you knew you wanted to do, or you kind of knew this college route isn't for me? Where did that fit in, the decision to go into the military versus knowing maybe the college route wasn't for you?
Yeah, so I originally wanted to be a pilot when I was in high school, sophomore year actually.
You went to BOCES
for
aviation?
I did 2 years at BOCES with aviation. Okay. And I was obviously volunteer firefighting also in Port Jervis. And I was never really book smart. I was more street smart, common sense smart. And I knew college wasn't going to be the best route for me. Pilot route was going to be very expensive to pursue. I looked at all my options and I figured I love firefighting, so I believe that's going to be the best route for me.
Yeah. And
I decided the military would be obviously a free education if I needed it, and hopefully, line me up with a job in the end, which it did.
Freshman, sophomore year, were you thinking about, should I go towards the firefighting track in CTech or aviation? What drew you towards aviation?
So I was already flying prior to BOCES.
Okay.
I was doing private lessons on my own, paying for it. Well, my parents were paying for it at the time. So
shout out to Joe and Gina Cole.
Yep.
Great people in our community here. Joe helped us so much over the years with all the stuff at the fire department. Joe, appreciate you. Sorry.
No, so where was I?
I was
taking lessons. I was taking lessons flying, so I wanted to do both. I wanted to do aviation and I wanted to do fire at BOCES, but at the time, aviation was my priority, my goal. So we chose that route. I talked to my parents; they helped me decide.
Yeah.
And obviously, BOCES was paying for my aviation.
Yeah.
So I got 40 hours for free through BOCES. It's a great program. I believe they still run it now.
Yeah. Tanner Sexton, Port Jervis graduate,
yes,
is the instructor.
He started after I graduated.
Yeah, he's the teacher. Yeah.
Yep. So it really did help. Unfortunately, I never finished my aviation pursuit. I never got my license because I went in the Air Force, and it's so expensive now to do flying. Hopefully, maybe someday I'll be able to get back into it. And
you still have that itch?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
But in the Air Force, did you fly?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not. So the pilots are the officers of the Air Force, the enlisted. Andrew Forster, one of my best friends from school, he's a helicopter pilot right now.
He's in Italy.
Yeah, he's doing great things.
He's having homemade pasta.
Yeah. So he went to the Air Force Academy. I was enlisted. I didn't go to the academy. So I stayed. I was a senior airman when I got out.
Okay.
So no, I did not fly.
And you went down to the Joint Base McGuire Dix Lakehurst in New Jersey here, about 2 hours from here.
Yeah. So when I enlisted in the Air Force, I got sent to Texas, San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base for basic training. So that was 2 months, 8 weeks of basic training to get you accustomed to the military culture and everything.
Is this like July after graduation, or
so I left August 2nd.
Okay, so you had July.
It was hot.
Yeah,
it was brutal there. Every day was over 100 degrees.
Wow.
And you're out there training, marching, doing everything you can to learn the military culture. And after those 2 months, we went to San Angelo, Texas.
Oh yeah, Western Texas.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. So middle of the desert. And that was my fire training, and that was from October to February. So that was 6 months, 5 months, 6 months.
Okay.
And then from there, I got assigned to Joint Base McGuire Dix Lakehurst for 4 years, which is in New Jersey.
Did you luck out getting assigned there? I mean, you could have got signed Anywhere.
I did. So you create a wish list when you're at tech school.
Okay.
Joint Base McGuire Dix Lakers was number 3 on my list. I had no idea what it was. I didn't do any research about the base, but I saw it was.
What was number 1?
Number 1 was Andrews Air Force Base, which is where the president and all of Congress, everybody flies out of. It's a big base in Maryland.
Yeah.
So that interests me. It's also in Prince George's County, which is a busy fire department area.
Yeah.
So I was looking for volunteering on the outside also.
Our friend Keegan Dunn is down there.
Yeah.
He's a police officer down there.
Yeah, one of my great friends from school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He just got married too.
Yeah.
And a baby.
He did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I forget what number 2 was. Oh, actually, number 2 was Shaw Air Force Base, where my brother Ryan is.
Okay.
And still is.
Shout out to your brother.
Yep. So then number 3 was McGuire. I didn't know anything about it. I saw it was in New Jersey, so I'm like, oh, that's close to home. I'll apply for that one, and I lucked out.
Wow.
I was very fortunate.
What were some challenges for you? Again, being down in Texas, it's the hot. It's you're away from home. What were some things? Were you homesick back then? Was it hard for you, or were you loving it, or they were so hard on you couldn't couldn't show any homesickness?
It was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
In the beginning, the first week or two was a change. Everyone, you're with a bunch of strangers. There was 50 other guys in my flight that I was with
from all over
the country.
Yeah.
Different backgrounds. It was tough, but there's so much going on in the military training. It keeps your mind off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like in the movies where they're screaming at you and stuff and cursing and all of that?
Yes and no. The Air Force is a little more relaxed compared to the other branches.
Yeah.
And we get made fun of all the time.
Yeah.
All in good fun. But
yeah,
it does happen.
Okay.
It definitely happens.
But are you up at 5, making the bed, all that kind of stuff?
Yep. 6 o'clock. It was up. You're making your bed. You're showering. You're getting out to PT all in like 10 minutes, and everything has to be perfect, good to go, and then you go about your day.
Wow.
A lot of classes during the day. You're learning the customs of the military, the history of the military, how to march. You have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner mixed in between. Cleaning, attention to detail. There's a lot of stuff going on. They're busy days. They go quick.
Yeah. And are you like that now at home? You make your bed, you up,
yeah.
Right? Still very regimented?
It didn't change.
Yeah. And were you like that beforehand?
No, the military changed me.
Kind of left your
it changes
bed
most
on,
people, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did Gina and Joe say when you came home?
They were very surprised when they came after I graduated basic training. They saw me down there. They're like, this is a completely different person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
It was fun.
Yeah. Awesome. And during that time, again, you served 4 years in the Air Force. Was staying in to be a career military service person, was that something you thought about? Or what made you kind of, hey, let me go towards this other passion of mine, firefighting? What made you kind of go that route?
So I had a plan before I went in. I wanted to do 4 years, get out and do a career firefighting job somewhere, whether it be a city.
You knew that.
That was my goal,
Yeah.
and I was sticking to that goal.
Yeah.
And so I did my 4 years, and I enjoyed my time in the military, but I wanted to be out of the military and get a job somewhere, which I just happened to land a job where I worked at Joint Base McGuire Dix Lakers. That's where I still am.
Did you know going into the Air Force that you would be able to get fire training? Like, you selected that job?
Yeah. So when you go to your recruiter, they give you a list of 10 options. You can choose 10 jobs for the Air Force. I don't know if it's still like that, but that's what it was in 2016.
Way back when.
8 years went quick.
It goes quick.
So number 1 was firefighting, of course, and then you have to select 9 more because it's required.
Yeah.
And you wait for the call. I don't know the exact process with recruiters, but they get job slots open, and then they pass it on to their people that want to go in and say, hey, I have this available. It leaves in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And the recruiting game is tough because they're going to push jobs on you that you don't want because they're trying to fill spots.
Sure.
Some of the less popular jobs. So you have to stick to it. You have to turn jobs down. But I was fortunate enough to get one very quickly, a firefighting job. My brother, unfortunately, did not have an easy route with a recruiter. He was pushed a lot of jobs that he didn't want. He turned them down, and they said, all right, well, we can't have you in the Air Force. And he said, okay. He was going to go a different route. And then 2 months later, the recruiter called him and said, hey, if you're still interested, I have a fire job.
Wow.
So he left within a week, I believe it was. It was sudden, but you have to stick to it. You have to, you got to play the game.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, and I'm sure, Matt, again, if you're watching live, please jump in and say hello. Thank you, Matt, for his service, and wish him well here. Matt, some of this is it just worked out. Like some of this is you're a really good guy. Like you follow the rules. You're respectful in school. You were consistently doing the right thing.
Mhm.
How much of that is helped you lead towards your way versus this guy's going to be a problem, this guy's going to cause an issue? Like you're a good dude, and good things happen to good people.
Well, that's exactly what you said. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Stay the course, do everything right, and usually things will end up great.
Was that something your mom and dad had to hammer into you, or was it just the way your family was?
It's just the way I was raised.
Yeah.
Grandparents, parents, friends, family, extended family. It's just the way everything is.
Good folks here, the Cole family and their boys here, Ryan and Matt. Matt, it's great to be with you. Let's talk a little bit about school. You didn't love school. Not that you didn't enjoy your time, but it wasn't something that really lit your fire. No pun intended.
Yeah.
What was some things that you did like about school? Who were some people that you looked forward to seeing or engaging in classes, things like that?
So I was class president, as you remember.
I see your email there.
Yep. So I was class president from 7th grade to 11th grade. Unfortunately, I lost my senior year, but still helped with the class and everything. So the class advisors were great. Obviously, we had great principals. You, Mr. Kmar, Miss Nyland, they really let us lead the class. So those were all impacts on leadership roles in my life.
Yeah.
And obviously, all the friends in school that I had, I was fortunate enough to have many friends hanging out in the parking lot, hanging out in gym class, playing ping pong with Mr. Hollick, Mr. Polanis. They're great memories. And then I met my best friend, my wife, Casey. Been married a year now.
Casey Malzahn, also class of 2016.
Class 2016.
Shout out. JV volleyball coach at the school. Modified.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 3 years modified volleyball coach. She's loving it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Did you date your wife in school?
We did. Yeah. We started dating in junior year. So it was like April of 2015. We started talking back and forth, and then it grew into a relationship. She stuck with me through the military. She went to college up in Massachusetts for a year, and then she went to OC. She stuck with me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. What did you know in high school? Like, oh my God, like I could marry this young lady? Did that cross your mind?
Yeah, we were perfect right from the start. Yeah.
Wow.
And everyone saw it too.
Wow.
Yep.
So what advice do you have for all those high school sweethearts that are dating now? What would you say to those young people?
If you know, you know. Go with your gut. I mean,
wow.
I did, and it was definitely the right decision.
Wow.
Yep.
Awesome. Matt, let's talk a little fire now. You are you went from serving in the military to a military job. U.S. Department of Defense, Joint Base, McGuire-Dix, Lakehurst. You are a professional firefighter. There's a lot of fire in the news right now with what's going on and the drought and no rain. It's a pretty dangerous job there. Talk to me about the job.
Yeah, so I work at a smaller firehouse down at the base. We have 4 guys on shift at my station alone. Overall, for the whole department, we have 40 guys on shift a day. 6 stations. We run about a little over 2,000 calls a year. So it's a busy fire department. Yeah. It's a large base, 60 square miles. My station, we're an engine company, so our job is to put out the fire. That's the job of the engine company. But we also run a brush truck out of our station and the hazardous materials unit. So we deal with any chemical spills, fuel spills, anything like that. And then obviously the brush fires, which we're seeing in the news right now because of the drought, we handle all of that too.
Yeah.
And then
unfortunately, a young man lost his life down there
in Greenwood Lake.
Does that kind of like dial you back into like, oh my God, I really need to focus
you're not always safe. You need to keep your head on a swivel. That's what we preach to guys at work. The older guys preach to younger guys. You have to pay attention. You never know when it could be your day.
Yeah. Matt, you hear of these fires, you see these things in the news. Does it bother you when it's a careless act? It's 4th of July, somebody's doing something stupid versus there was an electrical accident. There was an electrical fire. You hear these tragedies. You're like, does it bother you as a firefighter, the cause of the fire, or no? It's just the fire is, and I'm going to.
It does to an extent. I mean, if you're doing something stupid, which you're always going to have people do something stupid. That's what keeps firefighters in the job, us having a job. You don't want to see people get hurt. and you don't want to see, people's lives lost. You don't want to see the property lost. And it sucks when it's because of something careless that someone shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff out of your control too, like electrical fires, like you said.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest causes. Unattended cooking is a big cause. It does bother you at some point.
Matt, have you been to a fire where there's been people in the place that you had to get out? Like,
yeah. So I've been to a couple fatal fires. We had one in Montague probably 5 or 6 years ago now, where I was involved with removing one of the fatalities from the fire.
Is this with Port Jervis fire?
Yes.
Or this was,
Yeah, that was with Port Jervis. We were responding over mutual aid, and we didn't know it at the time that there was someone in there. So, yeah, they're the ones that, like I said, suck.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it happens, but it's all part of the job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. All of our kids that go to CTech for these careers and fields, it's so great to see that, Matt. It's so great to see you doing what we talked about. And even for you, we talked a little off air here in terms of your job and your retirement. I mean, you technically were on the clock in terms of your job at 17 years old.
Yeah. So I was able to buy back my military time. So after you get out, you have the option to buy it back, or you don't have to if you don't want to spend the money to do it. It is beneficial if you do, because it adds, in my case, 4 years to my retirement as a civilian. So if I do 25 years as a civilian, I can add another 4 years. So really, it's 29 years I did.
Incredible. Matt, what was something that happened that you learned, like kind of growing up? You mentioned Mr. Hollick. You mentioned some of these people. Did anything happen in school that kind of taught you a lesson that you still carry with you today?
Nothing particularly in school. One of the big things that I found out early on, if you make a mistake, own up to it. It goes a long ways if you own up to a mistake. Being an officer here in Port Jervis in the fire department, a lieutenant, if one of my guys screws up, I want them to tell me, hey, I screwed up. Okay, that makes things better, instead of coming up with an excuse, lying to me or any other officer, and we learn from it. Okay, what can we do to fix that mistake to prevent it from happening in the future? So that was a big thing I learned in the military, in the fire department. So yep.
Matt, you lead a life of it's calm, and an alarm goes off, and your whole day can change. Your whole everything can change. Talk to me about processing that alarm, finding out what it is, and then what you have to do. Talk to me about the process that you go through in your mind when that happens.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things that happens in those split seconds. I could be sitting at home with the wife. I could be at a restaurant. It could be 2 a.m. I could be in a dead sleep. If it goes off, if it say it's a house fire, like my thought process is, all right, who's around during the day? How many guys do we have in town that we can efficiently, put out this fire? Is it going to be just myself and an older guy in the truck? Because volunteer is an issue these days. We always need volunteers in the fire department. Time of day, is it nighttime? Are people sleeping in the house? Daytime, there's people that work from home now. Where is the fire? Is it in the woods where there's no fire hydrants, there's no water? Is it in town where there is water? There's a lot that goes into it. That's all happening as I'm going to the firehouse, or if I'm at work while we're going to the call. There's a lot.
You said, again, the location. Do the trucks have water on them?
So yes. So it varies. In Port, we have trucks that have 500 gallons of water. We have trucks that have 1,000 gallons of water. And you get out into the rural areas where I live in Sparrowbush, there's trucks that have 3,000 gallons of water.
Wow.
But if you think about it, 500 gallons of water, if you're spraying a hose at 150 gallons per minute, you only have a couple minutes worth of water on that truck before you run out.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with that, but
it
all depends.
Yeah. Matt Kowal here, class of 2016. If you are watching, please jump in and say hello there. Matt, it's really nice to, again, talk with you, knowing that you found something you love. There's so many kids that finish school and they might go to college. They kind of, you found your wife, you found the job you like, you again, making money, benefits, all of that kind of stuff. So early, what does that look like? I mean, you said 8 years, right? It goes fast. What does that feel like now to say, like, all right, I found these things. It's got to feel good. It's
I'm very fortunate. I say it all the time. Great. I had a great family, so they really pushed me towards where I needed to be, which roads to go to. I still, talk to them every day about what should I do.
Yeah.
They've been great to me. My wife, obviously, she's been so supportive over the years. Everything just, knock on wood, has worked out so far.
And tell me about that decision to kind of build a home here and live here in Port Jervis. Your wife, was that something in your heart you wanted to be part of? I want to live in my community where I grew up. Did you want that?
Yeah, I love Port Jervis. Born and raised. My family's been here for many years, and same for her family. We wanted to be close to our family. I'm fortunate enough to work close to home, and she works close to home, so we didn't have to go anywhere else. But I love the community. I love the close-knit community, everything that's going on. There's so many projects going on in town. Corey is doing so much great things downtown.
The hotel's coming soon.
It is. There's you drive around town, there's houses being redeveloped everywhere. There's buildings going up. There's just so much.
Yeah.
And the close-knit community, like I said, the parades, the Fireman's Day parade we've been doing for 170, I think 8 or 9 years now.
It's a great day.
Yeah.
The school is there.
Yeah, all the parades for the football teams when they win, which they're doing great things this year.
Big game Saturday, 1 o'clock at O'Neill, the Class B final. Thank you for the shout out. Yeah.
So we wanted to be here.
And as a young couple, no children here, Matthew, but looking at the schools you went to, and now you see the projects being done, the turf fields, the new facilities, the brand new EME here. What does that mean for you as a graduate, but also now a community member, to see all the building and the growth in the school?
Well, first of all, I'm jealous. I wish I was here for all these projects when they were going on. Dr. Bell and the staff is doing an amazing thing with this district.
Yeah.
It's looking great. And hopefully my kids, our kids, will be able to go to these schools and enjoy the new facilities that are being provided.
Yeah. You're home, you're up. So you would go to HBE, your children?
So we're actually in East Main Street.
East Main. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you seen the new school?
Yeah, we did a walk through the fire department
did?
right before it opened. Yeah.
Okay.
It's incredible what they did there.
Yeah.
A lot different from when I was there.
The middle school. Yeah. It is a great thing. And really that decision to kind of save that building and all of that was so much, but it's just so great to see. And cool. Matt, anything I didn't ask you about that you wanted to talk about?
Not off the top of my mind. I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really proud of you, again, serving as a firefighter, served in the military. You know, Matt, in the military, they give out coins. They give out challenge coins, so this is our Port Pride 5 coin. I'm going to put that up here. We just got these, and we give them out to people for certain things. So as your military service, and again, your service as a firefighter, this is the Port Pride 5 coin. We're going to give you this, and we thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Matt Kowal, everyone. Don't worry, Matt, you're not done yet.
Right.
I got a few more questions.
Yeah, you're good.
But I wanted to make sure we gave you that. Again, you are serving the Port Pride 5, and all that comes with that. Being kind, being honest, being responsible, being respectful, and being involved. Matt is involved in his community here, serving in a lot of ways. Matt, you're here. You got your stash.
Yeah.
I remember you as a high schooler. You couldn't grow one, but tell me about the stash. I love it.
Yeah, so
I love it.
So I started about 2.5 years ago now. Mustaches are a big tradition in the fire service.
Yeah.
So back in the early days of firefighting, they would grow mustaches to use them as filters for smoke, believe it or not.
Really?
Yep. So they'd have the big mustaches, they'd soak them in water and go in the burning building, and it was actually used as a filter for smoke. So
how about that?
So a lot of firefighters continue to grow mustaches to these days.
Yeah.
But we also can't grow beards because of our masks that we wear.
Okay.
Because you can't get a proper seal. So
okay.
Mustaches are really the only thing we're allowed to grow facial hair wise.
Yours is a little bigger than a traditional mustache.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these pictures we had here, it looks like, Mrs. Cole, not your mom, but Mrs. Cole is down with that?
She didn't like it at first, but she got used to it.
Yeah.
There's still times where she's like, I'm going to shave it off when you're sleeping. No, she's good. She's good.
And what product are you putting on there? Is it hair gel? Is it hairspray?
So it's a wax. It's a mustache wax, actually. It's like a paste. You put it on.
And how do you get the curls? How do you do that?
Keep doing it. The hair will actually grow. You train it. That's what it's called, training. And it eventually just goes.
I love it.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. How long do you have to cut that, or are you gonna?
So I do. Yeah. So I trim it. because it does get out of control sometimes, and
Yeah.
sometimes I get aggravated with it and trim too much. But
do guys in your house bust your chops about
oh
it?
yeah, oh yeah, they bust my chops with everything. It's all part of the job, though.
Yeah.
If they're not busting your chops, that's a bad thing.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
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 Someone told me that as principal when the kids would yell, "Yo, Murata, hey, Murata," and someone said, "Well, why don't you make them say, 'Hello, Mr. Murata?'" And I was like, and someone said, "Hey, listen, if they weren't saying anything,
there's a problem.
He'd be in trouble."
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Matt. Very cool. Well, again, I want to give your family a shout out, your parents and your grandparents, your brother Ryan. So many fond memories as principal, Matt as president all those years, and even his email is Mr. President.
Yeah, that's my old email.
Yep. Very cool. Well, Matt, as the former president of your class for many years, we are kicking off an alumni association. We're going to have a formal alumni association. I know each grade kind of does their own thing, but we want to get that out. We're going to do it here in 2025. We're just trying to find the right program. But we want our current Port Jervis students to be able to reach out to Port Jervis alum to kind of hear some of the things you just talked about today. If there's a kid out there that wants to go in firefighting, we want them to be able to search firefighter. Boom, Matt Kowal comes up, and they can reach out to you. They can contact you to help make that connection.
Okay.
So that's something that'll be coming your way.
All right.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Matt Kowal, everyone. Matt, please be safe. Please think about, the safety of your family as you continue to serve. But we wish you the best, and we're certainly proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Matt Kowal, everyone, class of 16, again, serving as a firefighter. And a shout out to all of our military vets. I asked Matt to come on as part of Veterans Day here Monday. He was working yesterday, so I couldn't get him, but here he is. Drove back overnight, worked overnight, and he's here. So very cool. Matt, thanks so much, and be safe.
Thank you again.
All right. Casey, good luck. 1 year anniversary. Proud of the both of you here. So we are going to sign off on the podcast. If you know an alum, if you are connected with someone doing great things like Matt here, please reach out to me and get some names. I got a long list of people we're going to interview this year. We're going to keep these podcasts going. So shout out to the Port Jervis football team this Saturday, 1 p.m., Class B final. Coach Straharski and his staff. Go get them, guys. Have a great day, everyone. Matt, how about a go Port?
Go Port.
Bam. We're going to sign off, everybody. Keep rolling. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Sorry. Where's the video? Here it is.